Hello and welcome to Cutlery Cavern. No, we're not going to the Tiki Lounge, and actually I'm also not going to be reviewing a knife today. Instead, I thought what I would do is give you a little tour of where Cutlery Cavern is filmed, and that would be my man cave. However, I don't call it a man cave simply because of it's not your typical man cave. Typically when you hear man cave you think of a big screen TV, a pool table, and maybe a wet bar, and sports memorabilia. Well, there's no sports memorabilia down here. There's no big screen TV, and the reason there's no big screen TV is because instead of a big screen TV mounted on a wall, there's walls that are just covered with knives. This particular wall is called the Wall of War. It's where I have mostly my military knives and military style knives. I started collecting military knives initially because I was interested in going into the infantry, and after going into the infantry I continued to collect military knives. The knives I carried while I was in the infantry are right here. I was stationed in Bamberg, Germany at the time, so also got an affinity for collecting beer steins at that same time. These were the knives I actually carried. I was in the Army back in the early 1980s, so I did not see actual combat anywhere, so I was just a peacetime soldier. I have way too much respect for soldiers who actually served in combat to even think about trying to pass myself off as an actual combat vet. I was not such a thing. I have all I can say is thank you to all those who actually served and had to fight, and I pray for the ones who didn't make it. What you saw so far is the drawers of knives, because I also have drawers filled with knives. These are the white smooth bone knives. If we back up a bit, we can see that we got a cabinet here, and it's filled with nothing but knives also, and stuff for fixing knives. And then that's the Wall of War, but as we come around the corner we come up on the hunting wall, and we see here some of the fixed blade hunters. We'll go down the wall as slowly as I can, try not to shake too much. So have a line of hunting knives. Below that are decks of cards. I also love to collect decks of cards. I also like to play cards, both for money and just for fun, so it doesn't matter if it's poker, blackjack, spades, solitaire, hearts. If it's cards, hey, even war and fish, I'll play it. Above that, an old Chicago police billy club, and there's the walking stick. I made that walking stick while I was in Germany because I used to go on lots of Volksmarches. Most of the beer mugs up there are beer mugs that were either won at a Volksmarch or that I bought at a Gasthaus in Germany. You can't buy too many beer mugs here, but I also collect lots of beer steins. I also collect shot glasses if I'm not collecting cards. But that's the hunting knives. If you notice, the hunting knives are in the sheaths. That means I have to take them out all the time, wipe them down, oil the sheaths and such, because really you should be storing your knives outside of the sheaths. And I actually rotate these knives so they're not always the same knives on the wall at any time. Once we get past the hunting wall, we get over to Red Ryder Corner. And Red Ryder Corner is the like tribute to my youth. In the middle is an current production Red Ryder BB gun. I have long since lost my original Red Ryder BB gun. I do take this one out occasionally and shoot it. I also shoot it down here in Cutlery Cavern, but not too often because there are some kitty cats down here and I don't want to hit them. But you know, above the BB gun you see some Red Ryder knives. Those are both the older ones and some of the new ones. Still have to get the new fixed blade Red Ryder knife. I haven't gotten around to doing that yet. And then over here we see the entrance to the Tiki Lounge. I usually have to open that up when I'm using the BB gun, but we're not going there today. As we go past that, we'll get to the dartboard. If you notice, the dartboard is on a wood wall. That's okay because I got a pad around it, so as long as you're not a horrible shot, you're okay. I love playing darts. It takes up a whole lot less room than a pool table, and like I said, there's not enough room down here for a pool table, so I've got a dartboard instead. Plus, dartboards involve sharp things. Usually when I'm using darts, I use Harrows because Harrows are some of the best darts in the world, and those are the ones I like to use the best. You go from anywhere from 18 to 25 gram. Really like Harrows darts. Highly recommend it. I guess there is a little bit of a review here. If you notice above the Harrows darts is various shot glasses and little bottles of booze and such. Let's go back over here and see how good I am with my darts. Never done this trying to film at the same time. Probably shouldn't do it trying to film at the same time, but there you go. So you could probably come over here and kick my butt shooting darts or playing darts. After we get past the Harrows darts, we get over here and we see a variety of scout knives. I collect scout and camp knives, all ages, current production, older ones, doesn't really matter. Really like the 4-blade scout knife, and I collect quite a few of them. It's probably my most collected pattern. Below that are a variety of Victorinox and Wenger knives. Swiss Army knives are some of my favorite knives also. Have quite a few of those. And below that are a few more camp knives and so on and so forth. Come over a little more and we see some hobos and a few fish knives and still more camp knives. Above that are the mushroom knives. That's a new pattern that I've started collecting, are mushroom knives. Above that are more Swiss Army knives. And then as we come down, we see some moonshiners, a couple carambas, a few other things, and then a drawer full of assorted knives of different types and styles. These are just the uncategorized ones. I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do with them yet. They're just in a drawer. Next to that are some of my SMKW house brands, ones that are either Stag or Stag Bone or something of interest to me. And then next to that is basically a drawer full of a variety of Rough Riders. I collect a lot of Rough Riders. I think I got about 100, 150 or so. My most collected pattern. This is a knife I actually won in a contest on iKnife Collector. A really nice knife. And then my 5-inch large toothpicks. I don't collect the small toothpicks so much, but I do like the large toothpicks. And sad to say, but a lot of the ones made in China look better than the ones made in the United States. But I do have a few made in the U.S., but the ones by Rough Rider just look really great. I wish they'd make some more. And then we have a line of 58mm knives, mostly Victorinox, but also a few by Camillus and Schrade. And then pin knives from a variety of places. Above that is a collection of whistles. I guess I collect whistles too. Shot glasses, little bottles of booze, and more shot glasses. And then as we come over here, we see rope knives and hawkbills, and then marlin spikes or rigger knives, and then more marlin spikes, more shot glasses. Yeah, quite a few marlin spikes. If I'm not collecting scout knives, I'm usually collecting marlin spikes. I really like marlin spike knives. Something about the sea. And then as we come around the corner, we see Turtle Man on one side and Larry the Cable Guy on the other side. These are SMKW knife catalogs. Who would think they would frame catalogs? But hey, Larry the Cable Guy and Turtle Man. Hard to argue with those two guys. They're just great personalities. And then in the middle you see some walking sticks that I'm working on. As we come around, got a shelf with some knives that I made, plus some fake guns that I bought while I was in Florida on vacation with the family. Those are two of my favorite knives that I've made so far. Below that shelf is my little nautical theme. Still a work in progress down here, but You got knives with pearl handles, and then a nice fixed blade rigger by Meyer Chen, some Bill Lowen fish knives, and some really strange knife in the back there, plus a Victorinox skipper. So that's a kind of a, like I said, something about the sea that I really like. And if you notice, in there is also my Mermaid of Warsaw knife. I'll have to show that off in a review in the future. And then more shot glasses, beer steins, and the like. More beer steins and such, and a few knives that I'm working on. This shelf is got some shot glasses also. Those are actually from my father, and that's also his nameplate when he was in the Air Force. My father joined the Army in World War II, served in Anzio, and then after World War II ended up in the Air Force, and stayed in the Air Force through Korea and Vietnam before finally getting out. And so that's a little tribute to him. And above that is my little tribute to coal miners in Tennessee and Kentucky. There's a cheetah, and there is a signature, autograph signature by Josh Hill. That's on the back of the certificate of authenticity for that cheetah. Families from Harlan, Kentucky, so a lot of coal miners there, and so a tribute to coal mining here also. And then as we come back around, we see here, this is my card table, my studio for filming, and oh, I don't know, just about everything. It's my workbench. This is where I do just about everything that I can think of that I need to do down in the cavern. So that's pretty much the whole place. I hope you enjoyed the tour. If you're ever here in town, drop by and I'll give you a personal tour of the place. It'll probably look different by the time you drop by. In the meantime, stay sharp. I'll catch you on the internet, and I hope you enjoyed taking a look at Cutlery Cavern. Thanks, and I'll see you soon.